Let's talk about the ADC saying that Nigerians won't tolerate the president being in office a day more, and 2027 is still far off. Is the ADC reacting to a real third-term agenda, or is this a strategic warning shot to shape the 2027 narrative early? Yes, Dr. Eric.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the question is for you. Yeah.
Okay, it's for me. All right,
Yeah.
fine. Well, it's very obvious. It's very clear. They say when you see a snake, what does it look like? It's like as long as a rope. Somebody did the same thing somewhere and he wants to replicate it. And when ADC is crying out loud now, it's because they are vigilant, we won't doubt them. From everything that has been happening, it is not something that anybody will doubt. Yes, APC will deny, but Nigerians know. You remember when all the governors were moving from whatever, all coming to APC? What did it mean? Do you also know how, from the first day of swearing in, instead of facing governance, they were facing politics? His posters are coming all over the place. Do you know the reason why the security agents have stepping up against the people? Labour wanted to protest. Okay, go on strike. They stopped it. They beat up the Labour president. Today, Labour has gone underground. A whole Labour. That is what I mean is Nigerian Labour Congress. What does it mean? They are now threatening to gag people, make sure that nobody talks. We have been talking about this kind of closing people's mouth and all that. All those are just preambles towards what it is. If he has succeeded, or if he succeeds in doing all this thing, what is there in already National Assembly is executive government arm of government? Is it the security? Is it the judiciary? So the cost is open for him. The Obasanjo's time is even tougher than this. When we have a senior president, Ken Nnamani, that was sitting up, and we have people like Atiku sitting up, they all squashed it. It took some time. Even though the Obasanjo is denying now that if he had wanted that time, he would have had it. He wanted, but he couldn't get it. But that is because at that time, there was a level of freedom of speech, freedom of actions. Unlike now, people are poverty is weaponized so that you won't talk. So it is true. They are very correct. And you know, these people, they know themselves. They see what we don't see. So ADC is not just kidding. They are Latin Nigerians, and Nigerians are really they can't be deceived. They are really sure that that is the pattern of the man at Aso Rock to dominate, and everything is happening. But then Nigerians should make sure we begin now to fight it. And I like what happened in Natasha soon. I'm sure that one will be coming very soon. Nigerians should wake up. We cannot have a president. We can't be like Cameroon. We won't be like Uganda.
Wow.
We won't be like some African countries where we have seat-tight presidents, especially those who are not doing well. So they are very correct. ADC is very correct. It's not. They are not alarmists. They are telling the reality, what is on ground going on. But Nigerians will stop it. We will certainly stop it. It cannot work.
All right.
But it's good for us to know on time.
You sound like an ADC spokesman already. You say we will stand against it. Anyway, I will not bring that conversation, Dr. Eric. Maybe, I don't know, are you already a card-carrying member of the ADC? Oh, okay. You're still waiting and sitting on the fence and we need to look at things differently. But let me go to Dr. Anosike. Definitely he has interest. Given Tinubu's history in Lagos, is the fear of centralized dominance over Nigeria justified, or is this is just a political paranoia?
For me, Tinubu is very power hungry. Understand? he loves power so much. But what he did in Lagos cannot happen in Nigeria. Because there's no way Northerners would allow him that to stay beyond the 2031 and they fold their hands. It will not work. But assuming he has the opportunity, he will want to become another Paul Biya. Because since 1999, Tinubu has been the unseen governor of Lagos State. He has appointed all the governors. He has appointed all the deputy governors. He has appointed all the local government chairmen, all their deputies. He decides who will go for the local government chairman. He will decide who will stop at the first term, who will go second term. Understand? So since 1999, he has dominated Lagos State, but it is just Lagos State. Nigeria is a very complex society. So what he did in Lagos, he cannot do it in Nigeria, because North is not even comfortable that that's for him staying beyond 2027, let alone 2031. Now, so he cannot do it, but I know that if he has the opportunity, he will do it. And from the research that I made, since after the COVID, no incumbent has gotten second term. No incumbent anywhere in the world, both Africa, Europe, America, no incumbent has gotten second term.
Is it a trend or is it just coincidence?
That's what is known as incumbency bias, which is the philosophy of voting out any incumbent after first term. In 2024, that's last year, there were 6 elections in Africa. All the incumbents lost their elections. South Africa, ANC have been dominating, but ANC lost a majority in 2024. So Ramaphosa just managed to hold on to power, but through a coalition. That's why the Minister of Internal Affairs in South Africa today is from a different political party. So, and I know that this incumbents bias will continue because the COVID changed the thinking of the people. Masses. Yeah. Understand? The masses are now demanding accountability. If you cannot perform, go. Understand? Okay. So that incumbency, it is the incumbency bias that removed the Sunak from being the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Removed the Biden from America. Brought the current Argentine president. Removed George Weah from Liberia. Brought the Sierra Leone president, brought Mahama now again. Okay. So this understand. So Nigeria can never be an exception. Nigeria can. The incumbents bias has come to stay. So for an incumbent to win election anywhere in the world today, he must have compromised the electoral system. Understand? So these are the contents of my book, Abuse of Power. Understand me? So Tinubu will hardly escape it. And for him to escape it, it is your position that will give him that power. So in 2027, who sits in Aso Rock will be determined by the opposition, not APC, not Bola Tinubu. If the opposition fail to organize themselves, Tinubu will remain there. But once the people in the opposition are able to organize themselves and they bring out an acceptable and a popular candidate, Tinubu is out in 2027, no matter who is the INEC chairman.
All right, let me go to Dr. Eric. The APC Lagos State chapter has already laughed off the ADC's prophecy that Tinubu will not stay past 2027 in Aso Rock. And they said it's laughable, and they describe the ADC as a party of serial defectors. Is it that they don't understand the situation, or they are taking ADC for granted, or feel that there's nothing to worry about? Should that be the case, the part of the ruling party?
Jerry, what do you expect? What do you expect? All those are just things that they do in order to strengthen themselves, okay, reassure themselves, make themselves happy. They all know that the opposition is formidable. They know. Why are they talking about it if it's not? If you know that something is not important, you won't talk about it. The obvious thing is obvious. And let me tell you, the opposition, as it is now, campaign has not been lifted, campaign ban has not been lifted. So when that one is done, you know what that means. If you do it now, they say at a stage, INEC said, oh, they should not campaign. Fine, ADC had gone underground for now, but they are organizing themselves. The thing is, Lagos chapter can say that, and they are talking about a bunch of defectors and all that. What about APC? Are they not giving up to their own to governor? Let APC people tell us the people who, somebody in APC that has never defected from any party or that has never from any party. Even Tinubu himself, was he not in SCA? Was he not in what is the other one that
AC, AD.
AD. He was in AD. From AD they went to
AC.
ACL. See, anybody who is talking about defection and blah blah, if Tinubu were to be in AD till today and there is AD, then when they talk, I will agree with them. He was a governor under AD and then was sponsoring people in ADC. Now today he's a president in APC and he wants to tell me that he's not a defector. What does it mean? They should have kept their parties intact and firm. Everybody, all Nigerian politicians are guilty of it. You can even see that the parties are changing, metamorphosing like the snake that is shedding its skin. All those things are just trying to show that they are confident or anything. That when the time comes, the same people will be saying something else. The only thing I'm telling Nigerians now, they should not accept anybody who is going to manipulate the electoral system. And like I tell you now, the Nigerian youths, at least, they will go against these factors that are pressing against electoral reform. When the time for that comes, it's going to be a tsunami. Electoral reform in all angles will happen. And that's the beginning of trying to stem rigging. But don't worry about what APC Lagos State, what else would they say? Are they not saying it to make their guy happy? Not to say to make them go happy. I can tell you that even when APC was burdened in 2014, 2015, what was the PDP saying? PDP was still saying that they are gang of defectors, frustration people. These are factors, and those are the gangs that push them out. So it's just a kind of recurrent decimal. They will always be saying that they're not opposition. But the fact I'm telling you, Jerry, is that the opposition is very strong. And I will even say it here, that they are organizing themselves, and they organize themselves very well from all the signs and we are seeing in society. And look at their criticism. We have just discussed something now about it. How they are already setting an eye against a third term agenda from the president. That one is not a popular thing yet, but they have seen it and they are talking about it. How else will opposition be? The opposition know that if they don't organize themselves very well, they will just be a pawn to the APC and the president. But for that factor, they are sitting up.
All right, definitely quite bold there. Let me go to Dr. Anuske. Can a party accused of economic and democratic decline still realistically campaign on renewed hope in 2027? Or is that slogan now a liability?
Well, um, it is a shame that an incumbent would be campaigning to change the problem caused by him and his own party and expect the people to vote for him. Understand? Because this is a problem that you and your party caused, and you are now promising to remedy that problems. Understand? So what does that mean? It is only foolish people that will vote for such a candidate. We know that the problem we are in this country now was caused by APC. And 2 days ago, they came up with a propaganda that Nigeria GDP is increasing. That Nigeria GDP is increasing. Well, what impact is it having on the life on average Nigerian? The answer is zero. Understand? In UK, the minimum wage per hour is 12.5 pounds. Minimum wage per hour is 12.5 pounds. When you convert 12.5 pounds, it will give you 30,000 naira. That's what they earn in UK, 30,000 naira per hour. So in 2 hours, they will earn almost 70,000 naira. And this is what Nigerians earn in 30 days. This is what Nigerians earn in 30 days. So now, what they should be telling Nigerians is what is the per capita income of Nigerians. It is zero. Understand? If a country is doing well and the people are not doing well, it doesn't make sense. Because government is about the welfare of the people. So if a country is doing well, the people should also be doing well. Even the people should start doing well before the country will start doing well.
Yeah.
But now you are boasting that our GDP is increasing while most Nigerians are going to bed without food. So are you now governing the country or you are governing the people? So a lot of time they don't think through what they want to say. They just come out and begin that to say. So for me, one of the strategies of winning an election is anger. Understand? And today, hunger and anger has mobilized Nigerians. So what Nigerians need now is just a credible candidate in the opposition, and Tinubu is out.
All right, that takes us to a member of the House of Representatives, Yusuf Gagi, has come out strongly against the creation of state police in Nigeria. Gagi, who chairs the House Committee on Defense, believes that governors cannot be trusted with the control of policing in their states, as they might misuse the power against their political opponents. Instead, he advocates for properly funded community policing, which he believes is a more effective and safer alternative to state police. Gagi's stance is rooted in his observation of how governors handle state independent electoral commissions and CX, often manipulating them to favor their own parties. He questions why governors will be trusted with armed security when they can't even manage civil power fairly. Gagi emphasizes that community policing, as outlined in the Police Act, allows local communities to nominate representatives into the policing structure, making it a more community-driven approach. The debate over state police is ongoing, with some arguing that it would help curb insecurity, while others, like Gagi, believe it would worsen the situation. Gagi suggests that strengthening existing security agencies such as the police and military and ensuring accountability within these agencies would be a more effective solution to to Nigerian security challenges? Let me take this to Dr. Eric. If we can't trust the governors to handle state police, uh, can we now still continue on this trend of trusting the federal government, which has often used the police to serve its own political interests?
Well, have we even trusted federal government with police?
Okay.
If we do,
What
why
about
is it
state
that
police?
everybody is not even talking when the Inspector General of Police that ought to have been retired is still there and nobody has said anything because they are tired. In fact, Nigerians have more problems caused by Tinubu's government than talking about IGP for now. That having been said, I align with that House of Rep member. Seriously, completely, wholly, governors cannot be trusted. When a president that is managing a bigger enclave is messing around with police, security agents, is it the state that is a microcosm? A microcosm that nobody can even oppose the governor in the state. It's just like saying that local government chairman should be handling security. Who is in local government as a local government can stand up against a local government chairman? None. But if it is like in Nigeria as a whole, different ethnicities will now condemn a president trying to derail or who has derailed. That one is more feasible. So when it comes to the vigilante, the local vigilante, those are better because they know all the nooks and crannies of the criminals. And you can even see, since we started having some of them, like in some states, they have them, they are performing better than police because they are very close to the people, they know, they feel it. The local vigilantes are indigenous of the environment, but police, they are not. You can bring a policeman from God knows where to come to some other place, and instead of even covering the crime, he will even facilitate it and connive, collaborate, because he has no attachment, no local attachment. And the local ones, they know everybody by name, by their ancestry, and they go after you. And most of them too are young people, like the young people who are committing the crime in the site. So they know themselves. So police, no, I don't support state police, but let us strengthen the local vigilantes. Like the Amok Tokuns now, you can see that they are bringing out their spirit to work. Like even the one in the east, this eastern stuff, is the governor not manipulating? Is manipulating them there. So Ludo is manipulating those ones. So not to talk of when you make it a general something. Let the local communities handle these things. And then governors should not be there. They will guide themselves. See, we have even seen situations where there are some areas in Nigeria now where the residents take turns to guide the environment. The residents, some streets. And it seems very effective. They say this house, we guard this night, this one, we guard this. They are doing this sometimes now. Which police will do that? And as they are doing it, governor has no say. They take their destiny in their hands. So we don't want state police. It shouldn't work. But the vigilantes, the local ones, organized and directed, are better.
All right, let me go to Dr. Nasike, because now, can we have a situation where the governors will even kick against state police? Because, for instance, they will now be meant to spend the security votes in ensuring their state police is well funded and so on and so forth. Could the governors, in the interest of continuing to enjoy the largesse of unaccounted security votes, kick against state police?
Well, the issue is that Dr. Eric Thomas was talking about the advantages of state police are now that's
against it.
and now still kicking against it.
He said local policing should be better than state policing.
He said that they know all the nook and crannies, that these people know the nook and crannies of their community. They know them by their names. They know their ancestors. This is why we are shouting for state police, because state police will be far better in policing than federal police. Understand?
Okay.
That is one. So if you cannot trust a governor with a state police because he will mismanage it,
yeah.
is it now or the president that we will trust? Is it or the president that has turned the Nigeria police to attacking dog, his own personal attacking dog, his party's attacking dog, that will now trust? The truth is that if we are practicing a federation, understand, the governor and the president have the same power. Understand me? That's why we are kicking against the state of emergency, that Tinubu has no power to remove an elected governor, because the governor was elected the way he too was elected. Understand? In a federation, each state has their own police. Understand? But when they are overwhelmed, they can now call to the federal for assistance. So there's no way a policeman who is a native of Sokoto will come to Anambra and perform effectively. There's no way a policeman from Osun State will go to Adamawa and perform effectively, because one, they don't speak the same language. Two, he doesn't know the terrain. Three, there will be issue of trust. The people will not be giving him information because he's not part of their own. Four, this issue of emotional intelligence. Understand? Then five, the issue of empathy. Understand? When things are going wrong in your state and you are there as a policeman in your state, you will put more effort, because it is your state, it is your people that are being killed, it is your people that are suffering, it is your people that are dying. But if if somebody from Sokoto is brought to Enugu as a policeman and the fire is burning in Enugu, it's not his own people. Understand? There will be no emotional attachment. Understand? So state police will have far more advantage than than this current corrupt, compromised system that we are operating in.
I think they're going to change the Roja system if the state police comes into play.
One, now I'm from Abia State, we have a state police. The guy comes to ask me of money. I goes, uncle or brother, calm down now. Understand? Now we. Okay. But you cannot tell this to somebody from Sokoto. Understand me? You cannot tell this to somebody from Sokoto. If you watch that or the bomb that went off in Abia, in Imo, understand? It should be or yesterday. Military checking point is not up to 100 years away.
Okay.
But the military guys are Hausas. They not even come. Understand? Because it's not their own people. But if it's an Igbo policeman that is at that check and he hear that sound, he will run and see what happened, because it is his own community. So state police has far more advantage than this centralized
Okay,
police.
does Gagi's argument assume that all governors are
Gag,
autocrats?
what is his name? That you know. So
Gagi himself, yeah, talking
so
about the honorable.
so he is in the defense. Analysis are coming. Understand?
Yes.
Which will be reduced if we have a state police. So he is defending his pocket,
Okay, not in the interest of the country.
not the interest of the people. The same way IG kicked against the state police, because if we have a state police, his power will be reduced.
But they introduced community police into the Police Act. But some are saying that in spite of that, it
Are
has
they
not reduced.
armed?
It has not reduced the crime in the
But are they
communities.
armed? Are they armed?
They're still reviewing it.
They are still reviewing it.
Yes.
So if you have a state police well armed, they can combat these herdsmen. Because the herdsmen are winning because those local vigilantes are not armed.
They're not sophisticated to tackle them. All right, definitely it's a very, very serious situation. But with the way the government and those interested parties are handling the issues of state policing and community policing and whatever you look at it, does that show that there's no urgency on the part of the government or the elite or those in power to even create a solution? Because it seems like we're applying the same dose of medicine to a situation and there's no solution. And we keep talking about state police because this state police has been on for so many years. And
Tinubu went to court as a governor. Tinubu went to court. That is for state police.
Yeah, we all thought he was going to hit the ground running on that.
On that, Tinubu went to court for resource control. Understand?
Okay.
Today, he's no more talking about
Is it that now he is in this situation, he now understands it's not as easy as he thought?
No, that's what I told you. Political law of gravity. People complaining when they are in the opposition and doing worse when they enter the political office.
All right, let's go to the next conversation because of time, where Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has resumed her legislative duties at the National Assembly, labeling Senate President Godswill Akpabio a dictator after months of suspension. Her office in Suite 205 of the Senate wing was unsealed by the Deputy Director of the National Assembly, Sergeant at Arms, Alabi Adedeji, allowing her to return to work. Akpoti-Uduaghan expressed gratitude to her constituents and family, maintaining that she had no apology to tender despite her suspension. The senator's suspension, which lasted 6 months, was deemed excessive and unconstitutional by the Federal High Court in Abuja. Akpoti-Uduaghan accused Akpabio of treating her like a servant and running the Senate in an autocratic manner. Her return has sparked debate about legislative independence and power dynamics within the Senate. However, it's unclear if she will be allowed to sit with her colleagues when plenary resumes on October 7. The Senate leadership has shifted the resumption of plenary sittings from September 23rd to October 7, 2025, allegedly to allow lawmakers to observe Independence Day celebrations. This move has raised eyebrows, extending the chamber's annual recess by 2 weeks and putting critical debates and pending motions on hold. Let me go to you, Dr. Eric. We've seen more plenary sessions than ever in this last 2 years, and it looks like there's more recess than handling lawmaking issues. But taking a look at the situation of Natasha, she stood the ground and still calling him a dictator and so on and so forth. What do you make of the National Assembly that we have this day?
Well, Jerry, the National Assembly we have, like I said before, you even before we got to this topic, is that they are an extended arm of Tinubu's executive government. The ESCO, the executive, is in control of the legislature,
Okay.
especially the Senate. So, of course, if the Senate is controlled, what are we talking about? House of Reps. Those are just boys following them. So the unfortunate thing about Natasha's issue was just because of the situation Nigerians found themselves, the lack of respect for the constitution, and the judiciary had even reduced themselves further. That whatever they say, nobody cares, and then they can only back, but they can't bite. Sometimes they can't even back because they are allowing a lot of compromise. You can hear them now. They are building houses for them. They are increasing their salaries threefold. They are building law school for them. I'm not saying it's bad. They are not bad. But in the context at which this government is doing it, one begins to wonder, is it the judiciary alone that is an institution? What about other professionals? We're not talking about, we're not hearing engineers. We're not hearing the federal.
All right, Dr. Eric, we can't hear you. All right. It looks like there's a bit of a glitch on the part of Dr. Eric Thomas. But taking a look at the situation of Natasha returns, it looks like 6 months is the hammer that's being used on any dissenting voice as far as this government is concerned.
Building buying cars for doctors.
Okay.
We are not hearing the federal government. Natasha is a lawyer, and the Senate, the judiciary, the case was there. They couldn't say anything. They are giving hazy interpretation. Judiciary gave an order. They said they are advising the Senate. What is that? If the judiciary was what judiciary should be, in the first place, this matter would have been nipped in the bud before even all this. But now she has gone for 6 months and she's back. An individual now sat down and said she's not going back. You see, this thing they did yesterday by going to court is just face saving. The pressure was getting too much. Oh, let it be that the court returned her. She will, if the court has said otherwise, by now there will have been fire in the National Assembly. Youths and Nigerians were ready to come and be there. You can see this other person that carried this Peter for Nigeria. He carried his phone, carried that symbolic, got pillow, and carried his traveling bag. He said they are staying there, and many others. Mama P was there, and Aisha, all those activists, and the youth followed them. You can see the crowd yesterday. I think they now saw that this is going to blow into something else. That was why they just took a letter coming. But as for whether she's going to take part in the plenary, why not? She will. If they don't allow that, that's going to raise another thing. As to whether the plenary now they are taking, whether it is so frequent, yes, it's too frequent because they are confused. Of the Senate, I know their plenary this time is more than many. Within 2 years, they say the same thing. They approve loans without hearing. Whatever the president says, they say concur. This is a Senate that is making voice vote for a serious thing like breaching the constitution of removing a governor. They cannot tell you that this is the number that said they voted for and against. How can you do that on voice vote? To tell you where we are. It's only Nigerians that can change it.
Only Nigerians.
So the Senate is an arm of the federal government.
All right.
I mean, not federal government, arm of the executive government. Executive arm of Tinubu's government.
Yeah. Dr. Onosiki has always buttressed that as well. Doctor, we're pressed for time. We will have to wrap it up. Unlike Fulbright went for 6 months and he came back humble. Akpoti Udogan is not humble. She's still saying a lot of very, very controversial words.
The issue is this. Akpabio, Senator Natasha was elected the same way Akpabio was elected. So all of them are equal. It just like in Devon boys that's in a football team. One person now come and say you will be the captain. So you are not different from the others. I have argued in several fora that what we have in Nigeria is part-time National Assembly. Because a year is 365 days. These people don't sit up to 180 days in a year. So do you call that a full-time? It's not full-time. What we have is part-time National Assembly, judging by the number of times that they sit in a year. But they are receiving full-time pay, which is corruption on its own. So Nigerians are not thinking. That's what gets me pissed off. That's a lot of the time. So I commend Natasha for his boldness. I commend him for his courage. My first degree was philosophy, and we were taught if you start with no, continue with no. If you start with yes, continue with yes. So Natasha is different from Simi Fubra, who started with no and now did the nine, change to yes. That makes you lose respect.
Wow.
That makes you lose respect. That's why I said that Fubra has lost respect.
Very, 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 very punchy ones there coming from Dr. Anosike. I want to say big thanks, Dr. Anosike, and big thanks, Dr. Eric Thomas, for being awesome on the issues.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Eric. All right. Have a good one. And that's all for today's episode of The Issues. We explore the challenges facing Nigeria's democracy, including the debate over President Tinubu's tenure, the pros and cons of state police, and the power dynamics within the Senate. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to tune in next time for a more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insights. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged. I am Jerry Apeliohai. This has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Have a good one.